Hi, and welcome to Container Gardening for Children. My name is Judy, and I'm the Marketing Sales Coordinator at Sonlight. And this is my gardening buddy, Ian, who's also my grandson.
And I'm 5, but I'm almost 6.
That's right, and he's about to go into first grade. So it's very exciting for me to be able to garden with Ian. So I remember growing up that my grandmother taught me to love gardening at a very young age. She would take me out in her yard in what looked to me like acres and acres of flower gardens, and she would teach me what each flower was, and she would teach me about planting the flowers and keeping them healthy and watering them and taking the dead blossoms off. All stuff that at the time didn't seem very important to me, but as I grew older, it became exciting for me to be able to do the same thing with my mom and with my children, and now with my grandchildren. So container gardening is a great way to occupy your kids during the summer on those rainy afternoons when you can't get outside to do whatever the fun things are that you're going to do outside this summer. So we're going to actually do some vegetable container gardening, because not only do we want to grow things and have the fun of planting and seeing them grow, but we also want to plant things that we can use later on so that kids can learn that there's value to growing vegetables.
Yep.
So we have here, what do we have in here?
Potting soil.
That's right. This is our potting soil.
And shovels.
And we do have little tiny shovels, don't we?
Yep, gardening shovels.
Yep, and this is potting soil, not soil from your yard or from the neighbor's yard, because that tends to be very dry and is not well aerated and it won't water well. So potting soil is nice and loose. And if your potting soil, when you buy it at the store, is kind of dry, you can sprinkle some water on it and stir it in with your little gardening shovels to help make it moist, because it's easier to work with.
Yep.
We also have some pots, don't we?
Yep.
And what did we do to get the pots ready?
The holes in them.
That's
See,
right.
These holes right here, this one and that one.
Yep, so we put holes in the bottom for drainage, because we don't want to water our plants and have the water just sit in the bottom, because after a while it would get kind of smelly. The other thing we've got is, what are these for? Do you know?
Putting in to get ready still.
So we're going to put those rocks in the bottom of our pot, because we don't want all the dirt to fall out of those holes. So can you go ahead and put that down there for me?
Yep.
All right. So now
covers
the
for draining holes.
Yeah, yep. So when you're choosing plants, there are a lot of things you can choose from, but some of the things that are real easy to take care of are herbs. So we've got some sweet mint here, and we've got some oregano here, and cherry tomatoes are especially fun to plant. But you can also plant flowers, all different kinds. Yep, we can show the hole in this one.
And there's a hole in this one too, and
yep.
we couldn't take the price stickers off, so we
The
had
price
to leave
stickers
them
got
on.
stuck, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
they put them on pretty good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that you can plant is different kinds of lettuce. So lettuces are really fun to plant because you can make a salad right out of your container garden. So let's get started here. We've got our pots and we've got our soil. So let's fill our pot. So we fill our pot with some soil. All right.
Yep, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
They want to see our faces.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep digging and filling that pot.
See?
So while you do that, I'm going to talk about this other pot that I've already filled. So I've already got one pot full, and you want to come up to within about an inch of the top of your pot so that you leave room for the plant to sit down in there and kind of spread over the top. So in this little pot...
Grandma, I have to tell them that you have to smooth out. But you have to smooth it out with a shovel.
Right,
Something
you do.
like that.
Yep.
Or you can just shake it smooth.
Okay. So now we're going to take our oregano And we're gonna pop it right out of the little planter it came in. And you'll find the root ball on the bottom, and you wanna break that up a little bit so that the roots will grow into the dirt in the pot. And the most fun part container gardening is getting your hands dirty, because this is when it's legal to do that. So now I've got my oregano all nestled down inside my pot there. And most plants will come with little tags that talk to you about how much sunshine the plant needs, how often to water it. And so you might want to stick that right down in there just so that you can remember. You're doing a good job here, bud.
All right.
Right.
That's enough for this pot.
Well, let's put just a little bit more in so we get to within an inch of the top of the pot.
Yep.
So one of the things to keep in mind when you're getting ready to do container gardening is you want to get all your stuff together on top of your counter. And my suggestion is lay down some newspaper or some butcher paper so that you keep the mess all contained, because there will be a mess. And then when we're all done, we can just roll this up and throw it away. And we bought pots, just inexpensive pots at the dollar store. You don't need anything.
Can I fill up that one too?
Yep, why don't you fill this one? Hold on to it.
How about we work together to fill it up to an inch?
Okay. So you can also get, sometimes you can buy the terracotta pots and you can paint them all different pretty colors. So there's lots of yes.
But you always have to cover the hole with rock.
That's
so
right.
the dirt doesn't drain out.
That's right. We put that rock down in there, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now
We need to fill it up 1/4 inch
yeah.
to the top.
So this pot is bigger. So this pot will probably hold our tomato plant very nicely, because this is going to grow into almost the size of a small bush when it's all said and done. So you want to make sure that your pot has, or your plant has, more than enough room in the pot to be able to grow. Now some plants come in their own little root balls, and you just slide the plastic off the bottom, and then you can just drop it down inside, and you don't have to worry about getting rid of another plastic pot. All right, so the last thing we have to plant, that's good. All right. The last thing we have to plant is our sweet mint. So how about if you take this, and can we make a hole in here?
Yes.
Let's make a hole with our fingers. All right. There you go.
There.
There. Do you think it'll fit down in there? And now we can fit it right down in there.
And then we need to put this back in.
That's right. Because what does that tell us?
It tells us all about the plant.
That's right. It tells us how to water it and how often we need to give it food and sunshine. So there, now we can push it right down in. So once you get to the plant set in there, you want to kind of snug it down in so that it's down into the dirt.
Put this in.
That's right.
And that has to be facing out.
Okay.
So you can know what, and then we'll put it outside.
Yep, we will put this out on our porch so that it gets the sunshine that it needs to grow.
Yeah.
And every couple of days when the soil gets dry, what will we give it?
Water.
Some water, because plants like water to be able to grow.
And sunshine.
Yes. So that's a very simple activity for you to do on a rainy afternoon with even a 5, almost 6-year-old. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Yep.